All right. Good evening and welcome to tonight, Wednesday, April 8th, 2026, to the Finance Board meeting. First of all, want to give my best mea culpas to my massive screw up. I should have read my notes. Meeting should have been 5:30, not 6 o'clock. So I sincerely apologize to anyone and everyone I inconvenienced by my mess up. I'll try and make sure it doesn't happen again. Although I do try to avoid being perfect because it didn't end well for the last person it was. So we'll start with, we have a final warrant review. Is that what we have?
So we've been through the warrant. I updated the warrant with all of the recommendations from the finance board. We did meet as a select board on Monday to finalize the warrant, and they have voted to post the warrant. We are just making a few corrections in terms of any formatting changes, but we expect to post the warrant tomorrow, April 9th. The one takeaway from the meeting with the select board on Monday was that they would like to invite or extend an invitation to the board to discuss the article in which the authorization was going to be given to the Conservation Commission concerning the short-term rentals over at VZ Memorial Park. There was some confusion as to why the board voted non-favorable action. I tried to explain the best of to my ability that I believe that it was due to the fact that the authorization and the finance board had preferred it to be the select board instead of the Conservation Commission, and giving that authority to the select board and making sure that was maintained by the select board. But there were a couple of members who said that they believed or thought that the conversation was more so the misinterpretation of what short-term rentals were. I said that I would discuss it with the finance board at our meeting this evening and extend an invite if necessary to further have that discussion. But I think that the issue was that they wanted, based upon the moderator's comment, because he was also present at that meeting, is to try and find some type of unified front in terms of presentation at town meeting as to not confuse any of the voters. So again, I'm not sure how the board would like to move forward with that item, but I did tell the select board that I would bring it forward to the finance board.
I guess how would the members like to move forward with that? Brian, you have any thoughts?
No, I'm of the opinion that we should understand the terminology, short-term, what you found out. I would concur with the select board that, we should probably iron that piece out. But I also reaffirm the position of our board as unfavorable. But, always open for interpretation. But, yeah, I think we should move forward and talk about it.
Adam?
I have no issue talking about it. For me, it wasn't a misunderstanding of what short-term is. It was more to just, I would prefer personally the select board have the oversight over the Conservation Commission, just to keep it in line with everything else and to add a level of oversight to the operation.
Okay. I concur with you, Adam. I don't think it was a misinterpretation on our part, or on my part anyways, I'll only speak for myself, of what a short-term rental was. It was more of a supervisory oversight issue with me than anything else. So I think we're in concurrence on that level. I think Brian was also pretty much in concurrence.
Yeah, I just
That
want.
issue.
Yes, sir, I agree with both of you on that, but I also understand the position from the select board as asking, through Rebecca, a clearer explanation as to what short-term means, the semantics behind it. But I do concur with my two colleagues that I believe oversight should be at the select board level, not the Conservation Commission. But for me, I'd just like to hear if you're able to find anything out about what is meant by short-term.
So I did clarify in the summary section after the conversation with the select board as to what short-term rentals mean. And so what I had drafted was that for the summary section, and this would be for Article 4, now that they have numbers, so my apologies. It's a lot easier to read.
Well, you said, no, you figure out which one's which now, yeah.
Exactly, so Article number 4 is the article that we are discussing, and the summary for that is, this would allow the Conservation Commission to rent the on-site buildings for short-term rentals defined as limited duration use for private or public events, including but not limited to weddings, birthdays, celebrations, meetings, and similar functions. So I felt as though that helped clarify if there was to be any questions, or were to be any questions at town meeting as to what short-term rentals were.
I would concur that. I think that is clear, is concise. I do have a technical question, though, to ask, and may I ask,
Sure.
Mr. Chair? My technical question is this of you. That's Town of Groveland's property that's out there.
Correct.
And because it falls under the Conservation Commission's purview, they have control and say as to what happens to the property, what uses the property can have. Is that why they're in this loop versus, to concur with Adam has been saying, it should really fall under the purview of the Select Board when it comes to things of this matter, to keep things consistently across all of the things that we do. But because this is under the Conservation Commission, is there a reason why they have to be involved as far as on the business side of the development versus the conservation side, which is what they're edict to do?
So under the grant agreement in which we move forward with the purchase of the property, it names the Conservation Commission as, or provides the Conservation Commission with the care, control, management of the property. So because of that, they don't necessarily get to determine everything that happens there, but from a management perspective, they are in charge of the facility to that extent, under their authority.
Is this in perpetuity?
That's how the grant agreement is drafted.
So there's no legal maneuvering that can be done to actually remove that authority from them, from the business perspective side, and delegate that off to the Select Board and let them manage the conservation side like they do now?
I haven't necessarily asked that question, so I don't have a definitive answer for you.
Something to keep in the back of your mind, because like I said, I concur with both Adam and Bill, that I think it should fall under the Select Board's purview. But overall, I agree with them. I just wanted a clear understanding of short-term. So thank you for your answer.
Of course.
No more, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Melissa, Mark, do you have anything to add?
I do actually. I was the one dissenting vote when we voted on this. And just to kind of like reiterate my position, we don't currently ask the Select Board to approve a field usage permit. We're not going to them for every single little, thing in town that requires someone to make a decision on whether we do something or not do something. We've granted some of that authority to Rebecca as our town administrator. When I look at this, we're talking about renting like Memorial Hall and some of the rooms there. And so my viewpoint is, if we have someone who says, hey, I'd like to rent this room to offer an art class on, next Wednesday, and if the Select Board isn't meeting until 2 weeks from now, we'd have to deny them the ability to do that and then lose the opportunity to get a fee for a rental. So by granting the Conservation Commission the authority for short-term rentals, these are one day, one-time use, a couple hours, we're giving ourselves more ability to rent out that space than to restrict someone to say, well, you have to give us at least 2 weeks notice before you can get an approval. So it's bringing into this day-to-day operation where in other areas of the town, we're administering and allowing other people to make that day-to-day operation decision. But the Select Board still has some oversight as a whole of the commission. They have oversight of the property itself. So they're still involved. It's just removing some of that day-to-day aspect that they're not always available for.
Great. Mark?
No, I don't think I have anything to add here. I think I sort of concur that it should be looked at again.
Jim?
No, I'm all set.
May I?
Certainly.
I just want to just comment on what Melissa said, and that's a fair point. And it makes sense. And I would be open, again, to the discussion. If the select board wishes to delegate that authority to either the town administrator or the Conservation Commission, I have no issue with that, as long as the final oversight of it is with the select board itself. And I think that would accomplish both tasks, by the select board just using the power they have to delegate that responsibility like they did with the rest of the field use fees.
Great. In light of the information that I have now, I'm going to change my opinion. These are short, now I understand a better definition of short-term rentals. Somebody wants to rent a function hall. This is, while it may, I think this is just minutia for the select board. It's it's just, again, I think I concur more now with Melissa that it would be cumbersome and a huge burden on whoever wanted to rent a facility if it was on short notice. Do they really have to be involved in the day-to-day micromanaging of every aspect of the town? I know some people like to do that, but is it really effective? Is it really efficient? Now that I have a better understanding, I know the folks up there. I've rented the hall on more than one occasion for bridal showers, baby showers, et cetera, et cetera. And I think the Conservation Commission has done a very good job up until now, as far as I know. I don't see any reason. Well, if it's not broken, why fix it, right? So I guess I'm going to change my opinion and kind of go side with Melissa on that one. Now that I have a better understanding of what we're renting, it's not property. We're just renting a function hall or a space for 2 to 4 hours, I would imagine, right? I know I rented them for 4 hours when I did it up at VC Park, so. So basically, yeah, I think I've changed my mind. Anybody else have anything to add to that? Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I understand Melissa's position, and I understand why someone would, maybe change your position. But, if those function halls are being used for weddings or, whatever else, more than 2 weeks in advance if you need a hall. So the chances of a short term, as far as within a 2-week period, maybe 5% of the time, 10% of the time. So I find that position to be kind of hard to defend. And I'm not saying it can't be defended. I'm not saying I disagree with it, but it's kind of hard to defend. I do concur that, maybe it should go to the town administrator and have that office take care of the rentals and things of that nature. She is, edicted by the select board to do functions of her job, and she does that now with other things in town. This would just be part of it. I think overall, the position I'm coming from is that Adam is right. We need to have some level of oversight outside of the commission because, fundamentally, from my thought process is the Conservation Commission isn't the authority to administer a business function even on their own property. It should be from someone else, even though it might be in the bylaw to allow it. But I think, there needs to be a way to kind of separate that out and have it be more visible to the community by having someone in town do it. So that's my position.
Jim, did you want to?
I'm not a fan of towns running real estate, so I find it distracting. It gets away from the real government work. And what happens to the 3 houses up there that have people in it?
They're rented through that commission, I believe, as well, correct? Rebecca?
I'm sorry?
The three homes that are being rented on that property, they're being run that they're being rented to the commission?
Currently, yes, but the article before that, which will be Article number 3, we are looking to correctly authorize the select board to lease those 3 residential units. So this will be separate.
And those would be long-term rentals.
Correct. And those terms would be determined by the select board as well as the selection process, et cetera.
Yeah, when the function hall comes to mind, all I can think of is Ronald Reagan's famous quote, "I'm here from the government and I'm here to help." And we know what happens after that, right? So I guess it's, so do they want to meet with us? Do we want to meet with them? What's the decision? And
I'm open to a conversation, but
when,
So they just mentioned that obviously we don't need to, if you wanted to vote and to change your recommendation, we could do so. If you did not want to vote and change your recommendation or to just leave everything as is, we could have a meeting with them before town meeting so that if any discussion were to happen at town meeting, you, being both of the boards, could say that you had met and discussed and determined that collectively A, B, or C.
okay, I guess I'll move to reopen the discussion on a favorable and non-favorable motion on Article 4. Do I have a second?
I'll second it for conversation.
Awesome. So we have a motion and a second. Melissa, we'll start with you. I think we're pretty square on your position, but if you want to reemphasize that, go right ahead. Floor is yours.
No, I don't think I really have anything more to add. Like I said, I look at it as a day-to-day operation, and we've delegated that to other departments, other people within the town. Not necessarily something that the select board needs to be involved on a day-to-day basis.
All right, thank you. Mark?
it just seems to me like we just need to be careful, and somebody needs to define the governance of the authority and the process. I guess I'll just leave it at that.
Jim? Adam?
I got nothing new to add.
Brian, anything new to add?
No, I think the board knows my position, so thank you.
Okay, I make a motion for favorable action then on this Article 4. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Jim beat you to it, but we appreciate you. We have a motion and a second for favorable action now on Article 4, allowing the Conservation Committee to coordinate short-term rentals, meaning 2 to 4 hour rentals on a one-day basis. Because we are remote, we will need to do a roll call vote. So Melissa, you vote.
I'm a yes.
Mark?
I'm a yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Brian?
I'll vote favorable, yes.
Adam?
No.
And I will vote favorable action as well. So the motion passes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 to 1. So thank you for your input, and thank you for your ability to discuss this rationally. Is there anything else that we might need to discuss? Obviously, we've now made that point moot and no longer need to discuss it with the select board at any time in the future, so we can check that box.
Correct, so I will make the adjustment on the warrant to favorable action, and it will be posted tomorrow, and a copy will be sent to all of you for your records, and will be available to the public on our website, as well as copies here at Town Hall, and we will make sure to share on social media and all of our other outlets to make sure that people are aware that it is ready.
Okay? I know we don't have any minutes that I've seen. I know Mark has been away, working diligently in Maui, and for anybody that thinks that was a pleasure trip, if you've noticed the news, they had over 50 inches of rain. Mark was not enjoying his time in paradise. believe me. But Mark was away, unavailable. Melissa has been pulling triple duty. I think she tried to fill in as best as she could for Mark during his absence, but I don't think she has been able to get anything toward that. Correct, Melissa? But no pressure. We get it.
No, not yet. I do have the notes from the last meeting, so I hope to have those for the next meeting.
All right, yeah, we can, town meeting is at 7,
6:30.
Yes.
6:30. So maybe we can meet at 5:30. We can go over the minutes quick and any other small business we have before town meeting, if we can figure that out later. I guess the only other item we would have is the draft, the Finance Board report. First of all, I have to say, excellently written, beautifully composed. I couldn't change anything on this without being accused of just tremendous bias. So I think it's an excellent report. I appreciate your efforts in putting forth this report. It really was an effort that I sincerely appreciate. Brian, do you have anything to add to the report, suggestion, any comments?
I read through the report. I concur with the chair that very well written. So thank you for all the work and effort that you and your team put into it. There's nothing that I would have conflict with, so I would approve this draft as it's written.
Terrific. Adam?
I would like to maybe make the language on the education funding and working with the school board maybe a little bit stronger.
Okay.
Okay, a little bit stronger. Let's expand on that, please, and give
I-
us some ideas on what you mean.
I would like the school board to have to come and sit with us when we're going through the budget and not just whip a number out. I'd like them to sit here in front of us and explain it to us instead of us going to their meeting and, I mean, just hearing the spiel and that's it. I would like to have a conversation with our school board members prior to that meeting. I understand we should all go sit down, but I feel like that is a must.
God bless you, you're singing to the choir.
Okay.
I mean, I have asked for that for years upon years upon years, because I think a collaborative is needed so that the school board truly understands the position of the town that they represent. I have been unable to get that collaborative going, so.
I'm here to help.
Best of luck, brother. I hope you can carry that ball across the finish line. But with that said,
So we can definitely add language there. I think the biggest issue that I have found is that I get more of a response to requests that the superintendent come and share the budget than I do from the school committee. As you saw, I think you were copied on a couple of the emails that I sent this year, especially concerning the enrollment numbers, et cetera, and it was absolute crickets when it came to our school committee representatives as well as the school committee as a whole. But we can definitely either add language to say that moving forward for fiscal year '28, we would like to further strengthen our relationship with the school committee and request that either the school committee and/or superintendent or business manager attend a finance board meeting to further discuss the education budget. Is that something
That
along
would
the lines?
satisfy my,
how about
Wants.
this? Let me suggest this. The Finance Board recommends a stronger collaboration between the Finance Board and the members of the school committee that represent the town of Groveland, so that each side can better understand the financial stresses of each side. Something to that order.
I like that better, actually.
In the past, we've had frank discussions with the school superintendent.
At times. I mean, I think the school committee members have to know that we're not here to chew their heads off. We just want to better understand their positions And through that dialogue and discussion, they can better understand our positions so that we can form a more, stronger collaborative between the two units so that we can better coexist as the days and weeks and months and years go by.
It's a 65% of the budget. We have no input on it whatsoever. It's just, here, this is our number. To me, that's unacceptable.
I agree. And you, what's that old expression? Catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, right? I think if they made themselves more accessible and understood our position, it would help us understand their position, and the relationship would go stronger with each passing meeting. And it would just help all of us. You know, I'm all for it. Melissa, anything to add to that?
Nothing really to add. My one question I think I have for our school committee members is kind of more along the line of how much do they really understand the budget? Like from the meetings we've seen, the meetings we've been to, I don't get the feeling that they're involved in the numbers as much and more so just listening to Dr. B and the business manager saying like, this is what we need. And, you know, when it comes down to making cuts, you know, they just kind of default to them again to say, well, this is what will make the changes. Again, unless there's some other meeting that I've never witnessed happening, I just don't understand how detailed they're involved in that. And so I don't know that there's a lot of value. I mean, I would love for them to come to our meetings. I just don't know how much value they can give us in terms of understanding the budget.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point. But I think until we cast that line into the water, we don't know what we'll catch. So,
I mean, we've definitely invited them in the past. I've offered
Yeah, yeah.
and asked them to come to meetings,
No doubt.
and again, absolute crickets. We don't hear from them.
Yeah.
So that's again, like that's my one takeaway is how much they know those numbers and how much they can, you know, really do in terms of trying to figure out where we could work together.
I concur. I've been here since 2012. It's 14 years. So it's been difficult. Mark, anything?
No, great point on the school board. Nothing from me.
Jim?
I think it's always going to be a struggle with the school, always. Because, you know, Bagnell's getting a little old, you know, so I can see that coming down the way. I also see the 190 units on,
Soul Street.
yeah. And how many kids are going to be added to the enrollment? We
Unknown.
have no clue.
Yeah.
So we got more work there than we realize.
Yeah. My biggest takeaway from your comment, Jim, is why? Why does it have to feel like it's an adversarial position? Why? You know,
I don't think it's adversarial. I just think it's a difficult topic.
but why? That's my point. Why does it have to be a difficult? Why does it have to be a strenuous topic? We're all in this together, one way or another. We're all in the same boat. We are to sink or swim in unison. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. You know, I refer back to Kennedy. People look at things and say, why? They look at things and say, why not? You know, why can't we work together in a more collaborative union to make things better? I mean, Jeannie, Christmas, isn't that the purpose of why we're here? Why we ran for office in the school committee? I know that's why I get up in the morning most of the time and come to these to make things better than they were. But, you know, it takes more than just us. We've got to form that collaboration like Adam is talking about and form stronger bonds and relationships with these folks so that we better understand each side, so that we can better communicate our needs, and so that we can better serve the community that we live in. This isn't rocket science, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong, who knows? I'll give it 2 weeks.
So would you say that the sentence as revised, the finance board recommends stronger collaboration with the school committee members representing the town of Groveland so that both sides can better understand each other's financial pressures? Is what you're saying, or would you like to elaborate further?
I think that's pretty good. But can you send me that, and I'll think about some more stronger language, throw in there?
Of course.
Because I've got the semblance of what I want to say. I just want to put it down on paper, and then I really can make that.
Yeah, I mean, if I may, I would invite them to one of our meetings straight out in the letter that the whole town's gonna get, and let them not come. They all have to answer to the electorate, just like everybody else.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's once every 3 years, once every 1,000 some odd days, and some people just don't care. That's just the fact of life.
And that's fair.
Yeah, I get it. You can't, you can lead a horse to water, you just can't make him drink. What are you gonna do? Emilio, nice to have you.
Yeah, sorry for being late. Unfortunately, I don't have as cool of an excuse as telescopes, but coming from Marlboro doesn't sound as fun.
Quite all right. Nice to have you. It's always nice to have other opinions at the table, because they can jog other opinions that maybe lead to something great. We were basically commenting on the draft of the financial review of the town. I don't know if you had anything to comment on it.
Not off the top of my head, no. Unfortunately, just coming from the truck.
Okay. I think that pretty much wraps up.
Do we need to vote that, or?
Do we need to vote that?
It's your report to the town meeting, so I would think that a unified vote in support of a message that you're putting forward to the people at town meeting would be something that,
That said, I'll make a motion to approve as edited.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Brian?
Yes, I'll make this quick. I'd just like to confirm that I agree with all my colleagues, specifically Melissa's position on her dissertation on the superintendent versus the select board versus our board, and the discrepancies between everybody getting together. Fundamentally, I think the school board has an obligation to the town, our representatives. They should be here when we ask them to be here. If I only know from history, from what Bill has said, and maybe Adam, that them showing up is quite nil to none. I find that to be disheartening, because they are elected to those positions, and they should be more attentive to the needs of the town, and that includes this board. As far as the superintendent, he's basically the CEO of the Pentucket Regional School System. He has as much obligation to show up here also. My only issue is understanding the intricacies of what Melissa had talked about as far as the superintendent and his representatives. They go to the school board, the school committee members say, we need this, we need that. Then they go back and forth, and then he presents at a meeting as to what his needs are. Meanwhile, the school board just sits in the background watching, and they are really there to protect the interests of the town. I understand they are a member of the school board, and their prime objective is to make sure the kids get what they need. But they also have a responsibility that they are also the voice of the taxpayer paying the money into the school system. And it's because of that I think that they should be here. At least one representative should be here to explain the position of what they are advising the superintendent and his team to, advocate for. So that's all I have to say, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Emilio?
Yeah, the only discussion that I would have is in similar vein. I think closing the loop on communication is really important. Sorry, I don't have this on. I think closing the communication loop is really important to make sure that the feedback is is unified between us and the rest of the boards and superintendent especially. So I think that's something that, that does need to be heard, but outside of that, no, much of the same.
Adam?
No further comments.
Jim?
I'm fine.
Mark?
All set here.
Melissa?
I'm all set.
Do we have subpoena power? Just wondering. Probably not. Okay, just,
How do we get it?
just asking. I'm not sure it does us any good. People don't show up even after subpoenaed, so. So we have a motion to accept as going to be amended. We have a second. No further discussion. It's a roll call vote. Melissa?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Emilio?
Yes.
Adam?
Yes.
And I also am a yes vote. Terrific. Moving right along. Looks like the next meeting is going to be on town meeting night, April 27th. It is at 6:30. Thought it was usually at 7, no?
So, in the past, we used to hold a special town meeting prior to holding the town meeting, and the special town meeting started at 6:30, and then the town meeting started at 7. But since a lot of the legal nuances can be done under one warrant, it was unnecessary to hold a special meeting, since it was at our annual town meeting, so we combined them, and we just started at 6:30.
Okay.
So we'll be meeting at 5:30 on that.
We should probably meet at 5:30 on that night. 27th is a Monday. Okay, that's good.
The 20th or 27th?
It's the 27th, and that would be at Bagnell.
Correct.
That would be at 5:30 at Bagnell. Brian, you good with that?
Yes, sir, I'm putting it in there right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark it down myself. Bagnell. Adam, Emilio, you good?
Yep, I will be good.
Adam?
Yep.
Jim?
Sure.
Melissa?
Yeah, I may be a few minutes late. The babysitter will be here at 5:30, but otherwise I'll be there.
Okay, cool. If she needs a ride to get there early, let me know.
She's working till 5:30, so.
Ah, okay. Mark, you good?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Mr. Chair, if I may, just real quick, I know that you have to post it as a public meeting because we're meeting together.
Yes.
Just make sure it's 5:30.
I will.
Okay, thank you.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. I know, huh? I did, and I walked in here with doing my best mea culpa, and I still, boom, huh? Can you feel the love in this room or what?
See that bus?
Huh?
Did you see that
No, I
bus?
never saw it. It came right over my back. So we will plan the next meeting for 5:30 at Bagnell on April 27th. That's a Monday night. Any other items not reasonably anticipated at the time of posting? We'll start with Brian this time.
Nope, I just want to take this opportunity again to thank Rebecca and her team for everything that they do for the town, especially this time of the year. It can be quite cumbersome on you and your team, so thank you for everything that you and your team does, and please extend that to the team for us. Thank you.
Yeah, I would echo much of the same. I know that, that there's a lot of us on the board working through this, and there's one of you and just your team, right? And so appreciate what you guys do and everyone's time as they came in to work through the process with us.
Adam?
I've got nothing.
Jim?
I'm all set.
Mark?
I'm all set.
Melissa?
No, I just want to echo the same sentiments that everyone has said. We appreciate the hard work that Rebecca and her team puts in. I also just want to give a quick little plug for anyone who did not watch Candidates Night last night. It is available for replay. There was a great debate between the 3 candidates running for the select board, and there were also some other statements that were made. And also, if there's an interest in holding a position, there are some spots with no candidates running, so.
Terrific. I'll also reiterate the sentiments of my colleagues, not only to Rebecca and to her team, but to all the town employees out there that do a fantastic job to keep our community safe, clean, and livable day in and day out. It really does take a village, and I appreciate all of your talents, your skills, your hard works, and your effort throughout the day. from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all. And on that note,
Motion to adjourn, 6:40 PM.
I have a motion to adjourn at 6:40. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing as there's none. Jim?
Group hug.
Group hug. Okay, one verse of Kumbaya before we leave, and then we'll, Jim?
I'm all set.
Melissa?
I'm good, thank you.
Mark?
I'm good.
Brian?
I'm all set, thank you.
Emilio?
None?
I'm really.
Adam?
Yes.
And I am a yes. Thank you very much, and enjoy your evening.